Should have coach in about 2 minutes, everyone.
Go there.
Hey, coach, you there?
Yep. How you guys doing? Go ahead. Y'all can go.
First question, Jeff Dickerson.
I'm just wondering, big picture wise, we talked a lot about the run game last year. I think going as far back as the combine, you had mentioned that's something you were focused on this off season and something that you thought really you could address and do a little better this year. Where you're at right now, up to this point, I know the Montgomery injury was unfortunate and everything, but how much more confident are you right now that you guys will run the ball and be in a position to run the ball better as opposed to last season?
Sure. Yeah, Jeff, I do feel really good. I think that's one of the things that in training camp here we've been able to focus on and do pretty well in regards to what we're doing, which I can't get into. And I just think that the stuff that we have that we like, that we do really well, we stick to that. We add some things here or there. And I think that Coach Castillo and Donnie and the O-line has accepted that. And it feels good. Now, I don't know, again, just like a lot of things until we get that first game. But right now, I just appreciate their effort and their willingness to try to really get after it in practice.
Brad Biggs.
Hey, Matt, I'm curious, does Cairo look like the guy that you saw when you guys had shared time together in Kansas City? And because he's only been here a short time, what does he have to do to gain your full level of confidence? I know you lean on Tabes and those guys a lot, but he's got to have your confidence to potentially have the gig.
Yeah, you said Cairo, right? Did you say Cairo? Okay, yeah. So just being with him for, I think it was around 4 years in Kansas City. I just remember thinking that whole time that we were there was no concern at all whenever he was out there of making a field goal miss. There was a lot of confidence in him. And so I think that that's good. You want that with all your kickers. And he showed that the other day in Soldier Field. He has a great personality, and he understands his role and where he's at and what his job is. So for me personally, just selfishly, having him as a player in Kansas City helps out, I think, probably with the mindset too here in Chicago.
Pat Finley.
Hey, Matt, I can appreciate you don't want to get into injury details, but with Quinn and Patterson, could you tell us if it was a vet day or anything like that, and what your general feeling is about them and for the opener?
Yeah, no, it's, again, like I said, all that stuff is a good try, Pat, but I'm going to stay away from it. And we're just, that's where we're at. I'm sorry for you guys. I actually really, truly feel bad, but it's where we're at right now. I don't have to do it. So just out of respect, you guys I know you're trying to get me, but it's just, and I appreciate that, persistence over resistance, but we'll wait until next Wednesday. And I promise you'll get everything. Sorry.
Jason Leisure.
All right, I'll try Pat's question now. We've heard you talk a lot about Allen Robinson and how valuable he is, both in terms of production and what he gives you on the practice field. At his age, 27, does he factor into the plans long-term in your mind?
I hope so. I think that he's, he shows what he can do, and that's all, for us. That's Ryan and Joey. That's their world. That's Allen's world. And we understand that there's a whole process to all that, but I know how we all feel. I know how he feels. And when you produce the way that he produces, and the type of person he is, it definitely, those are the type of people that you want for a while.
JJ Stankovitz.
Hey, Matt, have you talked to Andy and Brett recently about their bit of news this week?
I actually shot them both a text message last night, and so I congratulated them. Job well done. I know that they're focused. You know how much respect I have for both of them, and but no, they're well deserving, I guess. And I don't know what the deal is. I don't know, like, exactly what's going on. But I just like you guys, whatever you guys send out, I read, and then I see that's the news popping out there. So we'll see. I don't know if it's final or not. Is it final?
I don't know if it's totally final, but just in general, Andy better than a lot of people. For him to get what is reported to be a 6-year extension and coach well into his 60s, does that surprise you at all about him?
No, not at all. I mean, I think it kind of speaks to who they are. I mean, both of those guys winning a Super Bowl. Coach has been a head coach for a long, long time. It's probably commonality. The guy is one of the best coaches to ever coach in the history of the NFL. So it seems common. So it's not shocking. And again, who knows if it's what the final details are, if it's true, but they're two of my favorite people, and they're great people that got me started in this game.
Dan Wiederer.
Matt, did you just confess that you read every word we write?
Yeah, I did. Especially what you write. I really read what you write.
All right, good to know.
Yeah.
When we closed the book on last season, you were pretty emphatic in saying that Mitch needed to become a master at understanding coverages. Now that you've had a month to throw a bunch at him in camp, where is he on that progress report right now?
Well, I think first of all, master's a strong word. That takes a little while to get to, but I think that he's doing he's definitely 100% growing in understanding coverages. And I think that's all you can ask for. Master, there's only a few of those right now, when you really think about it. But he is doing everything that we've asked in regards to progression and understanding where defenses are at. And I think that's what's pretty cool to see.
Adam Johns.
And to kind of go off that, I think you said on Saturday that this would be, Matt, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Yep.
I think you said on Saturday that this would be Mitch's day with the ones with the red zone stuff and whatnot. Did that happen today? And how do you think he did?
Yeah, he did well. It was actually 2
minute stuff.
It was our 2 minute, yeah, and he took the team down and scored a touchdown, so that was good.
Colleen Kane.
Hey, Matt, where are you seeing Riley Ridley make strides this year? What does he need to still show you to get more opportunities this season?
Just keep staying, within his role of his position, in the offense, and understanding and knowing that you saw him towards the end of last year jumping in and making that big play there on 4th down against Minnesota. Just you want to be able to develop, and he's done that. The kid is just so willing. He's all about football, and then special teams too, making sure that you attack that as well. So he's been doing that on both sides.
Stacey Dales.
Hey, Coach. Good to
How are
see
you?
Awesome. I have 2 questions for you. What have you most accomplished offensively to this stage through camp? And I'd really love to hear more about how you're going to involve the tight ends more, if you can share anything on that.
Sure. I think the number one thing that I feel is that we talked about doing is we have to have an identity on offense. I don't think necessarily last year you could say we had an identity. So what is that? Well, we'll see. We'll see what that is and what we think it is. You all know too that I've told you it can take weeks before you truly know with your players and with scheme and everything. But I think right now I feel pretty good about an identity in training camp. Only time will tell. And then the tight ends, it goes without saying that you can really understand that we have some guys we have different levels of tight ends. So you got a guy in Jimmy Graham who has a lot of experience. He's very motivated right now. He's seen a lot of different defenses. He brings a level of energy to our offense that really helps out. To a guy like Demetrius Harris, who I had in Kansas City, who was a basketball player and never played any football prior. Now here he is, however many it is, 8 or 9 years in the league, he can do it all. Cole Kmet is having a wonderful training camp, super smart. He's very consistent. So, and then we have other guys, in that we have that are growing as well, with a JP Holtz and a Saubert, 2 guys that are just coming in and really strengthening our tight end room. I think they're giving us depth. That's the biggest thing. You have to have depth. And now it's just a matter of us to figure out how do we want to use them.
Two more here for Coach. Mark Potash.
Hey, Matt, with regard to the running game, I was curious, when you look back at your own performance last year, especially that episode, like with the 7 runs against New Orleans, I'm not an idiot, and, that kind of thing. What did you learn about yourself as a head coach, as developing an offense and avoiding blind spots and just, not just improving the run game itself, but also improving your own, ability to pull the trigger and just use it when it's not working, that kind of thing? What kind of things did you learn about your own performance with regard to those kind of things?
That question is supposed to be brought up by Dan, man. Why are you always bringing up that game? 7 runs. Yeah, obviously the situation we were in, 7 isn't very many, and we need to do more than that. So that's stating the obvious. I think what it does, Mark, is it goes back to what Stacy was talking about with just the first question of an identity. In this game, you want to be able to be balanced. But yet maybe there's some games where you run the ball a little bit more just because of the scheme that they have, or maybe it's a particular formation or personnel. There's matchups involved. Some games it may be totally different. So that's predicated based off of the team you're playing. But generally, all in all, there's a big balance of, you look at 2 teams, right? If you look at the Super Bowl, you have one team that likes to run the ball a lot. You have another team that likes to throw the ball a lot, and they both worked. So what is your identity as a team? And once you figure that out, now, well, what's the rest of the team, right? What kind of defense do you have? How are you playing that way? And how does it work together? So, your general question about running the ball, that's stating the obvious. We need to be a lot better at that. And I hope that's what we can do.
Last one, Larry Mayer.
Had a question about Demetrius Harris. Obviously, the team revamped the tight end position. How much did his past experience with you and the offense help in terms of getting the other guys on board in the tight end room? And also, what are your expectations for him on the field this year?
Yeah, well, he has experience. And so, he has also experience in this offense, which really helps him out. He's right. He's a great sounding board along with Jimmy to Cole and some of these other guys, just to how the intricacies of this offense work. And I really like his growth. I mean, he was a guy that came in as a U tight end initially, and he's developed into being able to play both. So he has flexibility, he has versatility, and he's just he can help me out too. I grew up together with him in Kansas City, and we're both able to really just understand that how this thing goes, and he can be like an extension of me and our coaches in the tight end room.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate
All
it.
right, thank you, guys. Take care.
Up next will be Allen Robinson. Hey, Alan.
What's good? What's good?
Ready to go?
Yep.
First question, Pat Finley.
Hey, Alan, what's the last week or so been like for you, and how did you first feel the ankle? What got you to that point?
Yeah, it was just a bang play in practice. I had caught I forget what route, but I had caught it, and then somebody had just came down on my ankle. But throughout the week, just rehabbing, getting the swelling out and stuff like that. I feel great. So it's been good to be back out there the past few days. So feeling good and happy to be back out there.
Dan Wiederer.
Alan, we're knocking on the door of week one here pretty quick right now. When you look at where this offense is at right now, what is giving you confidence in what this offense is right now?
I think the versatility and the playmakers that we got. I think that we got a lot of playmakers across the board. When you see CP run the ball, when we get David back out there, the rookie and Mooney and Cole, the plays that they make, Jimmy Graham, we got a lot of people who could do a lot of things, and I think for us, that's what really makes us versatile in each and every situation. You know what I'm saying? So I think across the board, where our playmakers are at, I definitely like where we're at a lot.
JJ Stankovitz.
Alan, I remember something you said in the wake of George Floyd's death was that activism and change can't just be on an events-based basis. And it seems like we're back to it, pushing for activism and change on an events-based basis after Jacob Blake. So what conversations have you had in the wake of that about what kind of actions can be taken to make sure that it doesn't have to be events-based anymore?
Yeah, honestly, I think the toughest thing right now is, having COVID, as players and as community servers, we aren't able to get out there as much and get and be able to interact with different communities, with different groups and stuff like that, So at the moment, guys are across the board and everybody's trying to do as much as they can, but it is unfortunate right now because of COVID. Again, there's a less kind of personal interaction that can take place with just everybody kind of getting together, doing different things, whether it's an off day, community based, or whatever the case may be. But again, I think the biggest thing is, on a day-to-day basis, everybody just thinking of, others, and I think that's what's most important. Like I said before, it can't just be when something happens. It has to be on a regular basis, people putting their biases to the side, and just one group of people coming together, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. That's the only way that change is going to happen, So I think for us as a team, as a league, and seeing other leagues across the board do it, I think that everybody's trying to take as much initiative as they can to try to create change.
Matt Zahn. Jason Leisure.
Hey, Alan, you've had two very good seasons with the Bears. You said that you want to be around long-term. Why hasn't a contract extension gotten done?
Again, that's pretty much out of my control. Again, I can't, pinpoint anything or anything like that, So again, even for me, like I said before, where it's at right now, that's not really of my concern. I know last time I came up here, we had about a month before the game. Now it's 12 or some days or something like that. So again, my main focus is on Detroit and is on this year. Again, like I said before, and I truly mean that. So again, for me, unless any contract things change or anything like that, I don't really have an answer for that.
Mark Potash. Mark Potash.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have a question for Alan. How you doing, Alan?
Doing well. Thank you. How about you?
Stacey Dales.
Hey, Alan, it's great to see you. My question is for you. Every point guard delivers the ball differently and leads differently, right? I'm just curious, as we've gone through this camp and, forgetting somebody's going to be named the starter with your quarterbacks, how do Mitch and Nick lead differently? And how does the ball come out differently from each of them?
Yeah, I would say, honestly, ball delivery and things like that, is very minimal as far as the differences of that, But again, as far as, their leadership and stuff, I think that both quarterbacks are pretty vocal leaders, and they try to, and they've stepped up, and took the challenge each and every time that they're in the huddle to lead us, So again, I think from a playmaking group, speaking for all the playmakers, again, that's all we can ask for, again. All we can do is go out there each and every day, and try to make plays for these guys, because that's most important, So each and every day when we're getting in camp, we're just trying to stay on our details, do what we can, as a group, to make this offense go, and at the end of the day, everything else outside of that will play out.
Adam Hogue.
Hey, Alan, couldn't help but notice this morning right before practice, you tweeted control what you can control. Can I ask you to explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, for me again, that's something that I live by. Again, since I've been in this league, that's all that you really, can do. And I also tweeted, something about, being fearless and limitless, but again, when you put these things in your head, for me personally, on a regular basis, that's definitely the food that I feed my brain. Again, I mean, each and every day when I go out here to make a play or as I'm going through my day, all Allen Robinson can do is control what he can, and that's being the best player that I could be. That's being the best teammate that I can be, that's being the best brother that I can be, that's everything, so, and that's where my focus has always been at, and again, that's how I've been able to maintain, myself and continue to get better each and every year, each and every day in this league.
Couple more for Alan. JJ Stankovitz.
I want to go back to the activism piece and the change with Black Lives Matter. I'm just curious, like, what have your social media mentions been like? What have your Instagram DMs been like as you've taken a stance and used your platform to agitate for a change to make Black lives better in this country?
Yeah, again, I mean, you get, the differences as far as, positives and negatives, but at the end of the day, for me, it's not really focusing on the negative things at all. Just like I said before, controlling what we can, and that's using our voice and our platform to be able to say, the things that we think is important. I think for myself, I'm not too concerned or care about any negative things that come from that. That's not where my head is at. My head is, how can I continue to drive this message forward, and continue for this message to be long lasting, and not short lived. I think that's the biggest thing, as players, as a community servers, as everyone, we want this message to be long lived. Again, I mean, we've had some short lived messages, in the past, but right now where we're at, this is something that we need to focus on and need to continue to focus on to make this world a better place.
Pat Finley.
Alan, I want to ask you about Big Ten football. Do you think they should be playing in the fall? The president apparently met with the commissioner today. And as a former player at Penn State, how would you weigh safety with kind of what football seems to mean to the community?
It's so tough, man. I think at the end of the day, if I'm being 100% honest, collegiately, I probably would say that I don't think that they should play. And I know that a lot of, college players may hate hearing that, but I think, for us, when colleges try to compare it to NFL and things like that is, I know how it was when I was in college, being, having, being around your peers and wanting to be around your peers and doing stuff, as a group and a lot of social stuff. I mean, the definition of a university is many colleges in one, which is social. I mean, that's the biggest difference. You have gatherings, at your student center, you have different study groups, you have things like that. Like, that's what colleges is all about. So thinking that they're going to be able to put that to the side and still have kids on campus and living in the dorms and things like that, to trying to have football as well, I think it would be very, very tough. I think that, health wise, I don't think it's worth risking for all those guys. I mean, even as you see other guys, having issues and stuff like that when it comes to COVID who have gotten in college. I mean, fortunately for us, in the NFL, guys had a choice to be able to opt out or not, but still how we're operating in our facility. And, we have, a facility where we can take as extreme precautions, when it comes to distancing and stuff like that, So I think for them, they're just a little bit more limited on their resources and limited to control what's around them from a football standpoint. Because that's the thing. College is not just about football. It's about classes and other things like that. In the NFL here, it's all football all day, and that's the most important thing.
Awesome. Thanks for your time talking to these guys, Alan.
All right. I appreciate it.
Demetrius Harris will be next up.
Y'all got it set up in here.
Go ahead, Eric.
Hey, Demetrius. First
What's up?
question. First question, Pat Finley.
Demetrius, what did you think of an empty Soldier Field the other day? And what do you imagine it'll be like with piped in crowd noise and nobody in the stands and all that sort of good stuff?
I mean, it's gonna be something new, but I mean, we kind of gotta adapt to the normal right now. So I mean, it's gonna be, at first it was, when we had the scrimmage, it was a little weird, but I mean, I feel like we adapted to it, and once we get down the line to the week 1 and week 2, and then the next week 2, we should be fine with it.
What effect will it have on snap counts and stuff like that, do you think?
I think the decimal is like the max is 85. So I mean, we really could hear it out there. It's not like 100 and some decibel. It's 85. So we pretty much can hear.
Larry Mayer.
Hey, Demetrius, I was just wondering, with the Bears bringing in pretty much completely revamping the tight end position, you have experience in the offense and also with Matt Nagy. How much did you enjoy kind of being a mentor or helping out a veteran like Jimmy Graham and also a rookie like Cole Kmet kind of learn the nuances of this offense?
I mean, it's all the same, and it was just the terminology. I had to just rehear new terminology, but with those guys like Cole and Jimmy, like they learn pretty fast. So I mean, it's just like, if you need help, like if you forget to play, like I'm there for you, or I can help you with that. But they adapted real quick, so I mean, they really don't have no problems with the offense.
Dan Wiederer.
Hey, Demetrius, in the time that you've spent around Nick Foles, what's left an impression on you, and what are some of the things that he brings to the table that elevates the trust level of guys?
Man, Tricky Nick, man, he been everywhere, man, and he won Super Bowl, so he knows what it takes. And being with him in Kansas City, man, it looked like he didn't lose nothing. He got the same mentality, attack the day every day, and just he going to get you the ball and put it where it needs to be.
Chris Emma.
Demetrius, what have you sensed of Cole Kmet so far? And has his level of readiness maybe surprised you at all, given this offseason?
Oh, no, not surprised at all. I mean, he pick up stuff real quick, and with this offense, the tight ends be used a lot. So I mean, he picked up everything fast, and you seen it in the Zoom meeting, and it's just translating to the field.
JJ Stankovitz.
Hey, Demetrius, what does 12 personnel do for this offense, and what does it make it difficult for a defense to do against this offense?
It's very hard for a defense, because if you get 12 personnel, you're gonna get base defense. So you got a mismatch with the tight end on a linebacker. So I feel like that we need to use that a lot and use that to our advantage. And it's a lot of mismatches out there when you go in 12 personnel and they get in base defense, and you got a mismatch with the linebackers.
Pat Finley.
What do you make of Mitch Trubisky in your time with him? I know you threw with him even off to the side during the offseason. How have you seen him be around the full team versus when you guys were in small groups?
I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. He just, like I said, he's like, I didn't know him last year, and what I seen, he's attacking everything. Like, started with the offseason workouts we used to have, just attacking the day, and now I see it with the full team. He's on the same thing, and he's locked in, and he's just attacking every day.
Larry Mayer.
Demetrius, when you were signed here, I think a lot of people talked about you and your blocking abilities mostly. How determined are you to show, and we've seen it in practice, but how determined are you to show that you're an all-around tight end, that you're capable of catching the ball just as much as blocking?
Yeah, man. With that stuff, I don't get a lot of praise and stuff like that, but everybody knows I can do both. Like, some players thought I was just a receiver, tight end, but I most definitely can do both. And I'm just, I'm here to show it. And whenever I get the opportunity, just make the most of it. But I most definitely got it. I got both packages. It's in my package, but I'm just ready to use it.
What are your individual expectations in terms of the pass game this season?
Just take advantage of your opportunity. Everything I write down on everything on every install. Catch everything and be you, and that equals a dog. So I mean, I write that on everything just to remind myself, especially in the passing game. And on the run game, I write down finish blocks and block to the best of your ability every time. So I kind of keep that note every day, and I look at it and make sure. And then after practice, I see on film if I did it wrong, I make sure I do it the next practice and have a big point on that.
Dan Wiederer.
Demetrius, I was curious what your impressions of this Bears defense have been going against them in practice now for a month or so.
Oh man, the defense is crazy, man. It most definitely they disguise a lot of stuff on defense, and here I'm back with blocking 5'2" Khalil Mack, and it just goes back to those Chiefs and Raider days and seeing him 2 times a year. So I mean, it's been good just knowing our defense is a top 5 defense, and we're going against them. So anything we do successful on them, I feel like we can do that on any defense, because that's one of the hard-nosed defense. In the front is amazing.
Couple more here. Pat Finley.
So how do you block Khalil Mack? And give me, has there been a moment either in practice or when you faced him before in your career where he's shown you something special?
Every play, man. He's a dog, man. When just going back to the years when he was at the Raiders, I was playing against him. He's Khalil Mack. So you just got to do the best you can and just not make him let him make a play. So I mean, it just getting better every day too, and it just like it takes me back. Once I see him and I start blocking him, it just takes me back to the Chiefs and Raider days. So I mean, he get me better. He get all the tight ends better, and he most definitely is a truckload, man.
Were you part of the triple team blocks on him when you were with the Chiefs?
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Me and Kels used to split us a lot of times, but yeah, it was most definitely a handful with him.
Last one, Larry Mayer.
I already asked mine, Eric, but I'll throw another one out there just for fun. Do you and Jimmy ever talk about who's the better basketball player?
Sometimes, but not really, man. We a team. So we got a starting 5 in the room. We got our little starting 5. So we just ready for anybody that won't smoke on the court. But yeah, it's been fun, man. Just getting to meet Jimmy and just hear his stories and his experience in his lead. And you know, he give everybody a tips, everybody in the tight end room, not just Cole, it's everybody. So, I mean, it's good to have a guy that has success in the league that long and it's been around. So, I mean, it's nothing but fun.
Appreciate the time, Demetrius. Thank you.
Yep, appreciate y'all.
Haley Darius, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. First question, JJ Stankovitz.
Hey, Ladarius, I'm sure when you were coming out of college last year, you kind of thought, all right, like I got to prove myself in the preseason, and like that's how I'm going to make an NFL roster. Without any preseason games to put yourself on tape, what have you understood about the challenge you have this year right now?
Just go hard as I can every day. Give 100% effort. That's all I can do, and put my intentions on tape.
Pat Finley.
Ladarius, walk us through moving to Chicago. Did you move in with Khalil, and what were your workouts like during the off season and all that?
The process. So pretty much, I shipped my car to Chicago from Buffalo, and I flew here. And that's when the grind started. Just every day. It was like 2 a days in college. It was like every day workout, live, run. Yeah, so that's when it started, and it was definitely a lot of work put in up to this point.
Dan Wiederer.
Ladarius, is that Khalil overseeing those grind workouts in the off season?
Oh yeah, we were together. We were together every time. Everywhere he went, I was there. So, yeah.
I also wondered if you could expand on putting your intentions on tape and what you hope the coaching staff sees when they go look at you play.
Just a relentless player on the field. My main goal is to get what I want, and what I want is to make plays every time. Every play that's mine, if I could get it, it's got to be mine. You know? That's just what I want to put on tape, and that's what I want them to see.
Colleen Kane.
Hey, Ladarius, in such a strange year when you weren't able to get to Hallis Hall in the spring because of COVID, how has it helped to have Khalil kind of be a guide for you?
It's a true blessing. He truly is. He's truly that light, you know. Definitely helped me out through my whole football experience. It's not just coming here. He's been always involved in some type of way. So can't thank him enough. You know, it's just a blessing.
Chris Emma.
Ladarius, what kind of mentor has Khalil been for you as a football player, and what all have you learned from him throughout your football life, really?
He just honestly, he showed me what hard work is, and never shy away from it. Always embrace it. Just gonna be them days where you hit a wall, but he showed me how to work through those things, and that's just, he just gave me that mentality, just break through every door mentality. So that's just how I look at it as from that standpoint. Yeah.
Pat Finley.
Did you not play football in high school? And also, kind of what motivates you now that you've got this shot in the NFL?
No, I was a basketball player in high school. But one thing I'll say that got me more in tune with football was basically the challenges of trying to figure out what I want to do. And football was there, and it was like I always wanted to explore that route. So when the opportunity presented itself, I took it, and that's how I got to this point. Honestly, if I would have stuck with basketball and tried to ride it out, then it would be a totally different story. So,
Dan Wiederer.
Ladarius, Khalil told us a couple of weeks ago that he was trying to bring a new approach to this year. As someone who's obviously been under the same roof and been with them a lot this year, how would you describe his approach, and what's driving it, in your opinion?
All I see in his eyes, he wants to win. And that's my mindset as well. And every day I come out here, and my mindset is to win my individual battles. And yeah, he just wants to win, and so does everybody here. So that's just the mindset, and that's how we take every day, approach every day with a winning mindset.
JJ?
Hey, Ladarius, what's your familiarity with special teams work, and what's been kind of communicated to you about how important that is going to be for you in your career?
Special teams is very important. I was a special teams player. I know the importance of special teams. I know the breakdown of get certain things, scenarios, and basically the details and what the coach wants. So with that being said, special teams is a huge factor, especially for me.
Pat Finley?
Do you remember where you were when you found out that Khalil was getting traded here?
Yes, I think I was in a hotel for camp at Buffalo. I think I was at camp. It was during camp. Yeah, I was in camp. It came across the screen, and I was like, "Whoa!" It was just unexpected. It was just unexpected. I didn't know how to feel at that point. I was like, "Dang, wow!" But yeah.
Your own brother.
What was that?
Your own brother didn't tell you first?
No, I literally just saw it. I saw it on like ESPN because we was just watching the network and it just showed up. And I was like, wow. And then I called my mom to confirm. Then she was like, yeah. So yeah, that's how I pretty much found that out.
Couple more here. Dan Wiederer?
Ladarius, any nerves down the stretch of this week and into the weekend, knowing that it's crunch time and roster cuts are coming and there's very limited time left to leave an impression?
I wouldn't say it nerves. I take everything day by day and I only can control what I can. And what I can control is my effort and my intentions and what I put on film. That's all I can do.
Last one, JJ Stankovitz.
Ladarius, just what has it been like practicing with your brother and just being out there like you guys are just like two kids, running around growing up, but obviously with a lot more on the line professionally?
Well, I'll say this, it's definitely with me, he's definitely that piece. He's going to be extra hard on me. So I feel like with practice, I got to be intentional, especially with my technique and fundamentals. Very big on that, hands, and it's just I got to practice. He wants to see me practice with good intentions, with good habits, and that's pretty much it from that standpoint. And practicing with him and seeing him do some things, it's like, dang, like, wow, you just see it up close, and it's always fun to see it up close with how he does things and how he moves and can get around guys. So it's definitely eye-opening a little bit.
Thank you, Ladarius. Appreciate the time.
All right, thank you.
That's it for the day, media. Appreciate it.